Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. I welcome you in another video which is based on Cambridge International Exam paper 2 which is a reading paper. Here you can see the format of the paper is in front of you. This paper has the timing 1 hour 45 minutes, and in this you actually attempt to comprehension. But today's lecture is based on reading for meaning. I'll be discussing the mark scheme with you, and I'll be guiding you how to attempt this part of the paper. So please stay with me till the end. Don't skip any part of it. And if you are new on my channel, please subscribe it and share it with others. The first and the foremost thing is paper 2 reading paper. As I have just discussed that 1 hour 45 minutes is the time given. Please revise it. And it has 50 marks, 25 marks for each comprehension. Reading for ideas and reading for meanings. So these are the two sections, reading for ideas and reading for meaning, as you know. Then you have to answer on the question sheet. I'll be showing you the sample paper. In fact, I'll be discussing it with you. So you will be actually looking at the real paper with me. Now, what we have to do, what are the important tips that will help us to attempt this part of the paper in a better way? So let's discuss them. First of all, we have to read the passage in order to get the main idea of it. Okay. Then the most important tip is that please have your answer to the point. Please don't write extra details that will show to the examiner that you actually don't know real answer and you have just given the related line for the sake of answer. So please make your answer to the point. Give answer in your own words. Questions are to be very carefully dealt with. There are many questions which are having an instruction to write the answer in your own words. So they should be extremely carefully attempted by you, and to the point the answer should be given to you. There are also questions which have what do you think type, what can you tell, or what do you know, or what evidence is there. Such questions are also open-ended questions where examiner wants you to show your understanding. Again, by keeping yourself in the confines of the passage, please answer these questions and answer to the point. So another very important point is that your answers must be grammatically correct. Okay, your preposition, your punctuation should be correct. So let's move on. Let's have a look on the paper. This is the paper in front of you. This is how you get, we call it an insert. The paper which I am going to discuss today with you is having a title, A Disappointing Day. So we'll be practicing this particular passage. You can see that this passage has 8 small paragraphs, and in Cambridge very nicely the paragraphs are mentioned, and on a specific paragraph the questions are based on. So we can exactly focus on that particular paragraph to answer the question. So let's begin it. Now, as a rule, what we do that we read the passage first and then we come to the question. But this time I would like you to attempt another way where we'll read the question first and then we'll be going to the passage. Okay, so let's practice this thing. Let's try this thing today. Okay, so read passage to A Disappointing Day in the insert and answer all the questions below from paragraph number 1. Now, we haven't so far we haven't read the passage, so we are looking at the question with no idea of the passage in our mind. Question number 3, part A. Leela and the writer decided to skip school. Whose idea was it? So we have that there is some skipping of the school, and we have been asked about the person behind this idea. Okay, what was the exceptional event the girls used to deceive their parents? So what was that the girls had this in mind, and they mostly deceived their parents, they cheated on their parents? According to the paragraph, who is the person least likely to be taken in by the girls' deception? So who was the person that who wouldn't believe this at all? You can see that all these questions carrying one number and one line is given. So we are supposed to give a very short and to the point answer. Okay, so now with these questions in mind, let's look at the paragraph. This is our first paragraph. Definitely reading the whole passage will not be possible with you, so I'll be just doing highlights with you so that you can have an idea about it. So we have an idea that Leela and the writer decide to skip the school. Whose idea was it? My parents have tentatively agreed to let me continue my education after elementary school. That it was on condition, this is writer, it was on condition that she would be allowed to go to the school. But my friend Leela's parents saw no point in high school. So we know that their backgrounds are different. Leela pushed me to do something I would never have. So here we find the person who is responsible for this idea. Leela pushed me to do something I would never have had the courage to do. This shows that writer lacks courage. We decided to skip the school. So this is the idea, skipping of school. It's by Leela. The story to tell and cross the boundaries of the neighborhood. Leela organized everything. She dreamt up the story to tell our families that after school we were all going to the teacher's house for a party. So what is the story told to the house, that they are going for a party at teacher's place after school? So this was a story told to the homes. They even the event would seem so exceptional that nobody would doubt it. So this was such thing that nobody would feel that this is not a real plan. Things were just as she had said. So things were going according to Leela's plan. At my house, everybody believed the story. Not only my father and my sister and brother, but to my surprise, even my mother. So this phrase is showing us that her mother was the person who was not in habit to believe things told by the children. So I'm sure that you could find the answer for this question. So let's move on to the second paragraph and the question set on it. The second paragraph is having two questions, and the first question is having 2 marks. It's mean that we have to give two different reasons to answer these questions. The girls were intrigued by the invisible. This is a phrase given by the writer here. Such type of questions are quite common in Cambridge, where the examiner gives you some phrase from the passage, and based on it answer is made. Explain in your own word what this tells us about the girls. So they were intrigued, they were taken in by the invisible, they were fascinated by the invisible. So what is shown about the girl's character? What exactly do you think was the violent explosion of sound? What was the loud sound? So we don't have so far any idea about the passage. So let's read the passage so that we can have an idea that what is it about. Leela said that out to the west was the sea. So we were intrigued by the invisible. What is invisible? That they have not seen sea before. So this is an idea that they would go to see something which they have not seen. Another thing is that they were also fascinated by something which they have not seen. They were fascinated by this idea to see this ocean. So it was actually these two different things are going to explain here. Okay, now they are going through a tunnel. Tunnel is a passage which would lead them to the neighborhood. The tunnel was so long that the luminous circle of the exit seemed far away. So they are traveling in the tunnel apprehensively enchanted. Apparently they were happy, they were fascinated by the echo created by our steps. We kept going. So as you have seen a tunnel, that it's a closed space and it creates a lot of noise. This prompted Leela to let out a shout. So Leela shouted with the echoes effect. We laughed at the resulting violent explosion of the sound. So what was the violent explosion of the sound? It was the echo of Leela's shout. So you've seen that a very careful reading is really compulsory for doing it properly. So let's move on to the next passage. You have seen that how the questions are set passage wise. Now, here is paragraph number 3 and the question set on it, question number 5. As an adult, the writer thinks of the pleasures of childhood. Now, the writer is grown up as she is recounting her childhood event. So, she is actually thinking about the pleasures of childhood. What two particular pleasures of childhood did she experience that day? So, what were two childhood pleasures she experienced that day? This we will read the passage and we are going to know. Okay, this is about writer, not Leela. Be very careful. Okay, so two different things we have to tell. The number is also set 1 and 2, and the marks are 2. The day had a harmonious start. Harmonious means a regular start. Give the one word used in the paragraph which conveys the opposite idea. So what is that word which is showing the opposite of harmonious? Okay, one word only you have to tell. So let's read the passage. When, as an adult, I think of the pleasures of childhood, I think of the harmonious start of that day. So that day started in a very normal way, in a routine way. Ahead of us were many hours when no adult would look for us. So they have planned that they would be going to the sea, and they have assumed that their parents are not going to know it. As usual, it was as if Leela were 10 steps ahead and knew precisely what to do and where to go. So, Leela's personality has been told that she was well planned, she was confident, and she knew exactly that where they have to do and what they have to do. At such situation, mostly girls are shaky and they lack confidence and they are fair. The pace, the calculation of time available, the route to the suit. All these things were known to Leela. Leela, all girls, like all girls of my age, I was so happy to have a close friend. So she is happy that she has a close friend. I felt as if she had everything planned so that the world around us would never be disordered. And she has good confidence in Leela's planning, and she thinks that nothing can go wrong. So you have to tell two things as a pleasure of childhood. So one thing is that the greatest pleasure is that they have many hours when they will be out of their parents' supervision. They will be like freely roaming. They will be having good time without any supervision. So another fascination which writer feels is this, that she is having a close friend like Leela. So she is happy about this. Now, the last part of the question talks about one word. So I'm sure that you could spot that word, which is the opposite of harmonious. So you have seen that examiner sets different types of questions. Now we are on paragraph number 4. Now they are on their journey. They are traveling to the sea. People who passed seemed indifferent to our escapade. Indifferent means that they did not have any interest in what the girls are going to do or where are they going. Explain in your own word what the writer thought about the people they passed. So what are two feelings? Because it's a question of 2 marks. So what are those two feelings which writer feels that the people were having when they were crossing by them? Then occasionally I caught Leela looking at me as if she had done something mean to me. Okay, so their eyes are met and she feels that Leela has done something mean to her and was sorry. This is what writer perceives. I realized that she kept turning round, that she was aimlessly going from here to there. Her hand on mine began to sweat. So she was holding writer's hand and it was wet by the sweat. This shows that Leela had something on her mind. Perhaps she had done something wrong to the writer, and that agony is is creating problem for her. The people we passed seemed indifferent to our escapade. So people had no idea that these girls are running from the school. Large heavy clouds appeared, and in the distance thunder was heard. Now it is the scene of the rain, so it's going to rain. So what are two different things which writer feels that people were? So definitely the people crossing them, they didn't care about them, that where the girls are going. And another thing was on writer's mind, that they should have been at school but they are not at school. This passage also reveals us about some secret plan with Leela, so that should be kept in mind. That now I would like you to look at the mark scheme for this particular question, so that you have an idea that how mark schemes are given. See that two different reasons with multiple options are given by the examiner. Okay, so any correct option is taken, but see to it that the correct one. There is a list of not allowed responses also. Look at this. That is also there. So be very careful that it's a matter of real understanding, attempting reading for meaning part. The people they passed, they did not care, or they were disinterested, they were oblivious, not interested in, didn't take any notice of, they did not pay attention to, they weren't bothered about, they didn't concern. Perhaps writer thought that somebody would ask them, but they were not interested in these two girls. This is one reason here. This is one idea which is in writer's mind. This is one thought. Okay. The other is that their adventure exploit why they were not at school. So this thought was also pinching them that they were not at school and they should have been at school. So you have seen that how set is the mark scheme, and this is how you have to come up with quite sensible responses so that you get good marks. Okay. Now we are on paragraph number 5. There is only one question which is of 1 mark. Why was the writer surprised that Leela wanted to turn back? Now suddenly Leela decides that they have to go back. Now writer is surprised because this is not the way Leela is. She is the one who never changes her plan. The first fat raindrop arrived. Started raining, leaving small brown stains as they hit the dusty road. Let's go back, said Leela. I had never seen her so agitated. There was something she had on the tip of her tongue but couldn't make up her mind to tell me. So what is that? The writer feels that Leela is hiding something. That suddenly compelled her to take me to home. That she now insists on going home. Whether we went back or continued, we would get wet just the same. That they would be getting wet, whether they go or not go. So I didn't understand why didn't we keep going. The writer is not sure that why are they not continuing their plan to go there. It was her own type of reasoning, and I bewildered when she didn't apply. So why was writer surprised that Leela wanted to turn back? So here you have to tell the reason, because so far writer has known about Leela that she never changes her plan. Now, paragraph number 7. Things had not happened as we expected. As usual, a phrase has been given. Things had not happened as we expected. What unexpected thing had happened? And what expected thing happened? So this we have to see. We quickly understood that the things had not happened as we expected. That the plan is a failed one because of the rain, so they have to go back. When school was over, my mother had gone to school with an umbrella to take me to the party. So what happened that as it started raining, the mother decided that she would go and take the girls to the party, and it was an hour that she had been looking for them. So she knew that the girls were not at school, but contrarily, Leela's parents did not know. So this you can easily tell that what was unexpected thing that and what was expected things. Now the last part, as a punishment I was not to leave the house for a week. She was detained for a week unless to go to school. Next day before class I explained my punishment to Leela. As soon as she was back she told it to Leela. Is that all? She said petulantly. Are they still sending you to the school? I looked at her in bewilderment as the force of her betrayal sank in. Was that why she had taken me with her? So this was her plan, that her parents, writer's parents, wouldn't let her to go to the high school. Explain what Leela did to betray the writer. Why did she do this? So two things are quite clear in front of you. That one thing, that she betrayed, that she took her out of, she helped her to leave the school without any reason, one thing. And the other thing is that she did so that her parents wouldn't send her to the school. Now with this we are over with the question answer part. The next part of the paper is finding the correct meaning, so that you can do. I'll discuss this part of the paper in another set of the video. So now I would like to discuss with you the part of the paper which is having the meaning and effect part. Here we have been given a phrase from the passage, and we are to give the meaning of that particular passage and the effect. So first of all, let's see, the line number is given 18 and 19. As usual, it was as if Leela were 10 steps ahead and knew precisely what to do and where to go. The one thing is that you have to tell the meaning. Okay, simply you will tell that what does it mean. As you can see that it seems that Leela is quite confident. You have to tell the effect also. Okay, I'm not going to discuss it. I'm going to rather show you the mark scheme for it, so that you are fully aware that how you have to do it. There was something she had on the tip of her tongue but couldn't make up her mind to tell me. So this is the second phrase. Let's first of all look at the mark scheme for this. Okay, what was the this is not that question. Yes. So, meaning, Leela, she was the leader, guide. Leela, she was in charge, planned everything, was organized and prepared. So, any meaning which is near to this will be acceptable. This is showing that Leela is confident. She's playing a role of a leader. She is a guide to the writer, and writer lacks courage. Effect on the writer. The writer looked up to admire Leela. Okay, so as writer herself lacks courage, she admires Leela. She has confidence in her. She relies on Leela. She trusted Leela for everything. Leela was a sort of hero to writer. She was a role model to her. She felt secure. She felt confident. She felt reassured. So any effect out of all these, not that you have to tell all these words, any word which is quite near to these meanings, they will be taken. But look at this, that this will not be taken. Okay, so be very careful in answering this part of the question. Okay, it's not difficult, it's just to the point. Now let's look at the other phrase. There was something she had on the tip. We read this line and I told you that we have to be careful about this. There was something she had on the tip of her tongue but couldn't make up her mind to tell me. So you have to tell the meaning. It's line number 28-29. Leela, she was deciding whether or not to talk to the writer about something. Okay, she has something on her mind but she decides not to talk. She has decided to tell the writer something. She wanted to tell her something but did not know if she should. So you simply have to tell the meaning of this particular phrase. Now, effect on writer's mind. The writer feels that Leela was feeling awkward. Leela has something on her mind. Perhaps she is feeling guilty. She is feeling uneasy. The writer feels shut out from Leela's thought, that something is wrong, that Leela is hiding something. So any such meaning can be taken. The writer feels confusion. Now this is the effect on writer: worried, suspicious, bewildered, uncertain, tense or doubtful. So you have seen that this part of the paper where you have to tell the meaning and effect is not at all difficult. The purpose to show you this mark scheme is not to give you the answer, is to show you that this is how easily you can give the meaning. It's all straightforward, and effect again you can decide on any suitable effect. So I hope that you have understood how to attempt this reading for meaning part, and I'm sure that you will not only like my video, and rather you are going to share it with others as well. And if you haven't subscribed it, you will subscribe my channel. So with this, thank you, stay blessed, Allah Hafiz. तुम्हारे सब 25 मिनट्स की बन गई। तुम मुस्तकिल बोल रहे हो, तो मैं मुस्तकिल इशारे कर रही हूँ। तो आई डिड नॉट लुक एट मी, मैंने क्या किया है? हो गया।